Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. Yes, it's spring, but guess what? The Americana Festival Committee is already planning for the 2016 festival events. And here to tell us more is Duke Lunsford, who's the executive director. Hi, Duke.
Hi, Maureen.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And so even though it's just spring right now, Americana Festival Committee has been planning since when, October?
Just about. Actually, It was July 5th.
Okay, July 5th. There we go.
Little joke there, but sometimes that's real. But yeah, we had a meeting back in October, and just to kind of get things rolling and people start thinking about 2016. And we're off and running as of January 1st.
Right, off and running because this event happens July 4th, which is just a few months away.
Absolutely. I mean, here we're sitting right here at the tail end of February as we're speaking, and we already have sent out all of our applications for arts and crafts and food and sometimes of our sponsors, and so we are off and running.
We're off and running, however, and I know that probably everyone watching has either been to the festival or knows about the festival, but there's one area that we really need some help, and that is with good old volunteers.
Absolutely. We are a volunteer-based organization, and without our great volunteers that we already have, the general public wouldn't see what they see. Okay, and so we are volunteer driven. And what we'd like to have, I mean, volunteers for the day of, we seem to, have that, and that doesn't seem to be an issue. What we're trying to do and build for the future is people that would kind of take over some leadership positions, whether it be in food, whether it be logistics, whether it be the parade. We have a whole myriad of items and topic areas that we'd like people to just come in and take a look at it.
So if somebody would be interested in learning more, what's a good way to find out more about volunteering?
We're going to be having our kickoff meeting at Benham's Grove a week from this coming Thursday, March the 10th, from 6 to 8:30. We'd like to invite people to come and just take a look and just kind of press the flesh, so to speak, and just meet some of the people that are already involved and see if maybe this is something that they'd like to get involved with.
Just to kind of give somebody a flavor of what may be involved, and as you said, maybe don't have to volunteer on actual pre-planning that goes into this festival.
Yeah, and just to talk from experience, I was invited 8 years ago just to kind of observe, just kind of come and observe, what happens, because my wife and I were recruited to possibly take over the parade 8 years ago, and so we just went to a meeting and just kind of took a look, and the people are just incredible. I mean, my wife and I just fell in love with just the camaraderie of the Centerville folks and the Centerville pride that is involved. My wife and I have lived in the community for 30 some odd years, and we just wanted to be a part of that.
And there are so many moving parts that are part of this festival.
Exactly.
But every single person does his or her part, which makes it all come together and work.
It is absolutely amazing, because then after I left the parade aspect of it, and I moved up into the ranks from president, now I'm executive director, and just to see, as you just said, the incredible moving parts. One cog gets into another cog, and it's just, just one moves in the other one, and it just makes this what we call now an institution here in the Centerville area of Americana Festival.
So let's kind of give people an idea of what this festival is, because it is huge. Estimates last year, 100,000 plus.
Easy, 100,000 plus. Anybody who has been a resident of the area, and if by some chance you come up to the center of Centerville on July the 4th, you will see from early morning from the 5K run to the parade, then to the arts and crafts right down Main Street, that also houses the auto show. Easy, 100,000 people.
And it's all a family-friendly event, and most of the activities are free.
Yes.
You're welcome to purchase food or whatever else you might want, but it's just a really good free event.
It is, because all the arts and crafters are right down Main Street from south to north, and then some crafters are in Benham's Grove, some are down over in the children's area, and the letters that we get afterwards from the crafters. In fact, we just did a mailing just a couple of weeks ago, and not only are our crafters coming back and want the same booth, but they say, no, I want 2 and 3 booths. So we've got to be doing something right.
Right.
Okay.
And of course, the City of Centerville and Washington Township help out with logistics and I know the city with waste collection and things like that, but primarily, as you said, it is a volunteer-driven organization.
It is, and our fire department, our police department, they make sure that everything is up to snuff, and people are keeping everything off the sidewalks and everything else like that, and they're on the main drag there as far as the street is concerned, and we really don't have any issues as far as that's concerned, but they're there just in case.
So you're looking for volunteers who can help plan some events, and also some who might be interested in eventually taking on maybe a larger role in a leadership type of position.
Exactly. Like I just said, that's how my wife and I got involved. We were asked just to come and observe, and then basically what we saw from there, then we were asked to just shadow, for maybe 1 year, and to see if this is really what you'd like to do. And after my wife and I shadowed for 1 year, then we took over the parade for 3 years. So this is kind of like what we're looking for, people to come in, take a look, possibly shadow for a year.
But you'll always have support and someone showing you along the way.
Always,
right? Yeah.
always. It's not like somebody say, okay, here you go, see you later.
See ya.
No, that is not the case at all.
And you have some seasoned folks who are volunteers. I mean, people have been around forever with this festival.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes. And in fact, the gentleman that I took over for, he was executive director for, I want to say 25, almost 30 years. And so...
And is Mr. Festival, Jim Reppert.
Absolutely. So, periodically I'm still calling Jim and say, Jim, hey, but I've been executive director for 3 years, and there's still stuff that I have no clue. And so...
Is it really that whatever your interest is, we'll find a place to fit you in somewhere with the festival?
Yes, because we have about 25 areas, that need to be handled on that particular given day, from photography to logistics to entertainment to food. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So, we need people to come in, and whether they have an aptitude for that area or not.
We'll train you, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got people in those areas that, have a lot of knowledge and can depart that knowledge to anybody. So, this is basically what we're looking for these days.
Now, if for some reason you can't make the March 10th meeting, again, you said that's at 6?
That's at Benham's Grove from 6 o'clock until 8:30.
Maybe calling you or getting on the Americana Festival website?
Get on the website. It's www.americanafestival.org. Our telephone number is 937-433-5898. Give us a call. And that's basically how you get in contact with us, and we'll give you the skinny.
Talk about your interests and see what you might want to do for this year's festival. And then, speaking of this year's festival, the theme has already been established,
yes.
right?
Keeping History Alive, Centerville, Washington, 50 years of history celebration.
So that's a new name for a lot of people. Centerville Washington History is the former Centerville Washington Township Historical Society.
Correct.
So now they're called Centerville Washington History, but that organization is celebrating its 50th anniversary. So, and they're such a big part of the festival, because I know all 3 of their facilities are decorated, and they're always part of the festival.
They are. They really are, and they sometimes participate with a float in the parade.
Great exhibits going on that day.
Right uptown, and so they do a wonderful job. And they came to us right after October in 2015, and they said, we've got some ideas that maybe you'd like to take a look at for our theme for 2016, and some of their ideas were just phenomenal. So yes, we went with them.
And what a great Grand Marshal who has such a love and interest in history. Of course, it's our former mayor, Mark Kingseed, is going to be the Grand Marshal.
Yes, and Mark's a great guy, and after he decided to step down from being mayor last year, I thought there'd be nobody better, than to step in as Grand Marshal for 2016, and he graciously accepted our invitation.
So he's going to enjoy that in many, many ways.
Yes, indeed.
I also want to talk about some of the pre-festival activities because, for instance, scholarship opportunities. This is something that if your child is interested in a scholarship, you might be wanting to check that out pretty soon.
Absolutely. Our scholarship chair is going to be formulating a theme that the kids can write about. Okay, sometimes it's associated with our regular theme,
right?
All right, and sometimes it isn't. So she develops that, and then goes to the middle schools here in Centerville and the high school, and then they write that, and then they submit that, and a lot of work then behind the scenes there as far as reading all of the essays and everything else like that. And there's a lot of money that we give away as far
there's
as
a lot of money.
Absolutely,
yeah.
You know, that
it's
we
a great
give,
opportunity for youngsters.
Some kids, you know, come back and when they're in college and try to compete again, you know, because we give first prize is $1,600.
So it's a great way to get your college fund started, or at least add to it, because there's some great opportunities there for middle school, high school, and then, as you said, college.
Right, and the only request that we have is that they're present for the July 4th, because we put them in the parade.
Because you get to be a star if
You
you're
do.
a scholarship winner, for heaven's sake.
You know, that's your day, and
Yeah.
so you ride in the parade, and then in the evening, then you're up at the fireworks show at the high school.
So you want to go to the website when all that information is released. You think in a couple of weeks?
I would
it'll be
say
ready?
start looking for it within the next week to 10 days.
Okay. And then I know you briefly went through some of the events, but not only for volunteers, but just if you want to remember or recall, you know, what's going to happen that day, because so much goes on. But really, the day kind of kicks off the day before the festival with the Grand Marshal's reception, right?
Right. We have our Grand Marshal come in at Benham's Grove. And if you always pass Benham's Grove on the night of the 3rd, all right, wonder what all those cars are, and there's a big tent and everything. That's our festival kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a concert that evening.
Concert down at Stubbs Park, okay. And I've just started to go to that because when I was parade chair, I was always up at the high school.
No time, right?
No time for that because we
Right.
were always doing staging up at the high school for the parade the very next day.
And I guess we could even back it up because we don't know when chairs are going to start going out along Franklin Street. That could be as 2 weeks prior. Who knows?
That's another thing. Yeah, could be 2 weeks, could be 10 days. You know, it's absolutely amazing. And I'm not talking just about lawn chairs. I'm talking people, you know, put up, you know, sometimes recliners and things like that.
They are ready for that parade.
And just put, you know, tape around there. And that's the kind of position that, you know, Centerville has put itself in as far as being an institution. That's why we call it an institution now.
And of course, there's always the big American flag that you'll see too, that kind of sets the tone for here comes the Americana Festival. That's usually at the corner of Main and Franklin somewhere.
Right. One year, a couple of years ago, something happened and we weren't able to get that flag there. And I'm telling you, the phone calls that we had to field, what happened to the American flag? You know, so we made sure that that flag came back.
It really, it really does set the tone that
It really
here comes
does.
the Americana Festival. So then that day, July 4th, we start off with the 5K run.
Correct. Early in the morning. The route is from the high school down to Klein, and then just turn around and come back.
And all of these events will be available on the website for registration information.
Correct.
When it's getting closer to time. But the parade, you know, parade's always a fun event, about 110 or so units.
About 110, 120 units. It starts at 10 o'clock with, we have 2 flyovers this year, the Wright B Flyer and then the Warbirds. Okay, are going to fly over, one probably around 10 o'clock and then the other around 10:15, 10:30. All right, and that's always a crowd pleaser.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And then street fair with entertainment, food booths, and car show.
That runs right after the parade is finished around 11:20, 11:30. People then just walk right on up to uptown and just start doing their thing.
Doing their thing. And then finally, entertainment. We have fireworks, Centerville High School Stadium. You want to be there for sure. We've got Ticket to Ride. The band will be there. That'll be fun.
And we have food trucks that are all, you know, out there. They started coming to vogue a couple years ago, and when we first started to have our food trucks there about 2 years ago, the crowd was just so unbelievable.
Continues on that festival.
It really
right?
does,
Yeah.
and they were not aware of, you know, the crowd and everything, and they ran out of food. You know, that's the excitement, and that's, you know, what we've built over the years.
So, Duke, if somebody wants to volunteer, where should they call? How can they contact
Just
you?
give us a call at the Americana office, area code 937-433-5898.
All right. Thanks for the information.
Glad to be here.
We'll see you next time.